And then we are good. So you can take your rolled up blanket or towel. I always just use a beach towel. I find the thickness is brilliant. And you can take this right underneath your knees. So you're going to come right back into kneeling position and just let the bum bones drop and the knees are apart ever so slightly. And you let the tail drop back so you can get that pressure right in through the backs of the calves. And then if you can take your bolster and take it right across the mat, and you can have it out far and release right down into a child's pose, releasing the weight of the forehead down as you let go. And you want to just feel the entire upper body release there. And on your exhale, you can pull the core back as you breathe and lengthen the spine. And then you have the forehead on the bolster so the nose is out and you've got that good breathing space. And you're breathing in and out through the nose. And on your exhale, you feel the lower wall pull back of the abdominals. And then you can breathe in, slowly uncurl. And now we'll take the left arm just in front and take the right arm under. And you can wrap the arms. Now take an in-breath and lift the elbows, gazing up. And then you can exhale. Now round the spine and tuck your chin so you're creating space in between the shoulder blades. And keep the chin really tucked so you can lengthen in through the back. Breathing in and out. Keep the breath streaming. And now we'll come on up again. Take another in-breath, lift the elbows. They still come forward so you've got that space in between the shoulders. And then exhale and let the head drop again. We're gonna do just one full in-breath here. And then exhaling, lift up and take the elbows high. And now you can take the elbows over to the right so you get a nice opening right in through that left shoulder blade. Let the arm pull way over. And you're hooking that elbow under to get well across. And I'm going to just change positions to show you. So now you're going to take the elbow way across and you can let the arm drop and then pull that elbow across and get a stretch. The arm is just above the chest. And one nice deep breath as you draw the arm over. And then you can gently release that arm. So now we'll take the right arm up, taking the arm under. Take an inhale, lift the eyes, and then exhale, tuck the chin. Breathe in and lift, lifting the eyes. Exhale, tuck the chin. Stay down and keep the chin tucked as you breathe deeply in and out through the nose. Creating space in between the shoulder blades. Getting that rounding of the spine with the elbows forward. Excellent. One more breath. Exhaling, and then you can inhale, lift, draw the elbows up. Now one more time, exhale, but just one breath. And then you lift back into tall spine. Draw that right elbow across. Use the opposite elbow to get over, getting that pull. And then you can let the elbow fall and draw across. And again, use the crux of this elbow to pull the arm well across to get that stretch right in through the shoulder. And then you can gently release. And then coming up off the towel or the roller, take the weight back, the roller back. So you're just above the ankles and you've got the weight dropping and now your sits bones are sitting right down onto that pressure there. And then take an inhale, rise, lift the eyes, open the chest, take the hands back. You're pressing the elbows out and you're going to lift from the rib cage, draw the eyes up, take a couple of deep breaths in here to open the ribs and the chest. Gazing up as the elbows press back. And then you can take the hands behind. Press the hands into the back of the head, and then you can exhale over to the left. And you keep the elbows back. Lift. I'm going to turn back. If you can still keep that pressure on the heels. And then you're breathing in, draw all the way back up, and then exhale over to the other side. Keep the elbows pressing back as you get that wonderful lift through the ribs. And breath. And then you can draw right back to your center. Now release the arms. You can take the towel out and just scooch it off to the side. And then take the bolster right alongside that body. And you're in kneeling position. And this is a great stretch for the knees, also the ankles. And then you're going to just take this elbow down, and you're going to actually take the hand down, and then we'll take the arm up, and you can lift and swiftly pull right up out of that right hip as you extend the arm up and over. And then you can breathe in, come on back. We'll do that 2 more times. Take an inhale, keep the hip dropped as you scoop up the ribs, and you get that length right through the whole spine. And then you can come on back. And in breath again, coming up, lengthen out from that side, keeping the breathing in and out through the nose. And then coming back. Great. Now you can take the right hand across, left hand to the back of the bolster. I've got the front of the bolster even with the front of the knees. And you hold on to the back, rise and turn to your left as you lift, and keeping both sits bones dropping as you lift. Stay with your steady breath. And 1 more breath. And then you can come back to your center. And now we'll just change sides, take the bolster over, have it right alongside, and again, the front of the bolster even with your knees. Taking the hand down, take an inhale, rise, lengthen, keeping your lift from your rib cage. Keep your shoulder blade back as you extend. 1 more breath. And then you can release that arm down, and coming up again, lift, lengthen from the side, get a beautiful reach. Steady breath. And then you can come down. And last one, inhale, lift, lengthen out, draw the shoulder blade back as you get that rise. And then you can let that arm come down. Take the arm across, right hand behind, prop yourself up as you turn, gazing back. And keep both sitting bones down evenly so you don't shift to the side. Keep the lift of the ribs pulling up. And then you can come right back to your center. Now we'll take the bolster right in between the legs so you can keep the knees apart or take them apart. Now, if you want to take your legs straight out, you can do that as well in a straddle. And then you're going to exhale and release the forehead down to the bolster. The bolster will be pressing right into the low belly, so you get a good strong stretch there. And you release the forehead to the bolster and go right into your breathing. Just feel the pressure in the low abdomen. You can even push the bolster in a little more. And you're attempting to pull the gut up so you get the ribs on top of the bolster as you come forward. And stay with your breathing. Beautiful. And then you can breathe in, draw all the way back up. Now cross the bolster over, and you're going to just take the feet on top of the bolster and have the feet on the floor. And now you can lower down and let yourself go completely into the floor. Let your shoulder blades come down. Arms are out to the side. Now, just come into your breathing and feel your whole body rest back. Feel the shoulders under. You can wriggle them under so you're nice and long through the neck. And then take the knees, bend them, and take the heels right to the top. Now do a small press of the low back down. So you're pressing into the feet. The upper body, you're letting go completely. And you keep that pressure in the feet as your shoulders rest back. And then the tailbone is slightly off the floor. And then you pull up another inch, just an inch. And you breathe. And then come again, come on up just another inch. We're incrementally stretching in through the low back and middle back. And one more breath. And then exhale and tip the tailbone up another inch and keep pressing into the feet. Keep the upper body relaxed. And then another inch. Peel that tailbone up. Great. And then start to slowly lower down. Take 3 breaths or 4 breaths to slowly lower. And you keep the tailbone tucked under, so you'll notice you're really pressing the feet down to get that activation of the tail out and up. Until you slowly lower down each and every area of your low back. And then let go. Now take your left leg out and hug the right knee in. Now you can lift the upper body and tuck the chin as you pull in. And then you can circle down or come down and come on right into circles with the knee. The bend of the elbows is pulling that knee in, your shoulders are back. And then come on in the other direction. Great. And then you're back to your center. Pulling the knee in snug. Really squeeze. Now straighten the leg, rest for a moment. Let your arms go right to the side. Palms are turned up. Good. Now once again, pull that same right knee in. And then pull the knee over to the left. So you're coming on the other side of the belly button. And then go back. And then continue, go side to side. Pull way over. And then back just to midline. Exhale way over. That's the best place to exhale. Breathing back to midline. Exhale over. Midline as that knee is coming right back in front. And 2 more. Exhale across. Breathe in, come on back. And exhale across. And breathe in, come on back. Great. Now you can let that right heel drop. Let the arms rest to the side. And feel the difference in the 2 sides. Feel maybe the more energy or the soft right thigh. Now take the right leg straight up in the air. So you're going to reach through that heel. Hold on behind the calf and pull back through the toes as you reach that heel up. Now do a gentle rock side to side about a foot. And keep the baby toe side pulling back as you get that heel reaching up. Stay with your breathing. Wonderful reach. Steady breath. Now you can bend that leg, pull the leg in, take your left hand, hold on to the foot and pull that knee down. So you're going to hug the knee in and let this ankle come across towards the opposite shoulder. And you want to pull down, get a great stretching through that right hip, hug over the right leg, and then you can use your hand to pull that right ankle across to the left shoulder. And then do a little bit of a tip over to your left side. Breathe deep into your hip. Let your shoulders continue to drop back as you pull that leg in. And then you can release the leg and come down. Let your body go and release everything into the floor. Good. The key is the breathing. Keep the breathing steady and full. And I trust you got a good opening in through that right sacrum on the last stretch, especially. So take in 2 deep breaths. Lovely. And then on your next inhale, hug your left knee in. Pull that knee in tight. And then come into circles. Wonderful. Coming in the other direction. Keeping the rest of the body soft. And then pull that knee in really snug. Just a tiny bit to the outside. Almost on the outside edge of your ribs, side body. And then you squeeze in tight. And then you can gently release that left leg. Let the arms rest for a moment to the side. Take in 2 breaths. Shoulders back. Great. Now on your next inhale, draw the legs back up, or draw the left leg back up, hug it in, and now pull across towards the right shoulder, way over quite a bit. And then come on back just in front and pull that knee in. And again, exhale across, pull that knee halfway across. Might be tighter on one side. And then breathe in back to the midline, right in front. And then exhale, come across, pull that knee over. And then you can exhale back to your center, pull in really snug. Now you can take your right hand, grab onto that left foot, hug over the calf, and pull that foot in. You can bring the upper body back if you lifted, and pull across, opening through that left buttock and hip, pulling in. Keep your shoulders back as you keep that left knee rotating out. Breath. And then you can gently release the leg down. Let go. Turn the palms up to the ceiling. Now press your shoulder blades back and under so your neck is long. And then bend your knees and take the soles of the feet together and let the knees splay out. Rest here. And let's bring awareness to the belly rising on the inhale. Feeling the back of the body letting go, and feel the belly sink on your exhale. Now to take awareness to the breathing, take the left hand onto the belly, just over the belly button. Again, as you breathe in, do feel the belly rise. And as you exhale, feel the belly sink. And again, inhale, feel the belly rise. Exhale, feel the belly sink. Keep that awareness going, the rise and the fall of the belly. Stay with your breathing for another minute. The whole back body sinking it back into the mat. And then take in 2 deeper breaths to finish. And one more full breath. Great. Now let your legs straighten over the bolster. And bend your right knee up and in again. But take the right foot now on the outside of your left foot, knee, and you can pull that heel up tight. Now, if you can come onto this side of the bolster just to keep the foot hooked there, and then take the arms up like a V. Let the arms come right out to the side, and then tip a little bit to your left. You're going to use the knee, pull it up towards the rib cage, and then you can take that hand to pull down. So you've got your foot supported, and then tip over to your left. Keep the right arm pressing back as you get your turn, and get that right knee up quite snug. It's right about even with your waist, maybe a little higher. So here's the waist when I'm showing the pose, and then here's a little bit higher. Just notice what your low back can give you there, and stay with your breathing. Keep that right arm under. The shoulder blade is under as you tip to that right side. Good. Keep the leverage of pulling down with the hand, and then just turn gently your gaze to the right. And breathe steadily. In and out through the nose for 5 more breaths. Good. 2 more breaths. Nice full breath. And now on the next in-breath, draw that right knee back up, and then let the right leg straighten over the bolster. Turn your body back to the middle. Let your shoulders rest back, and completely let go. Feel the difference on the right side of your low back. Soften your front body so the whole back of the body feels supported and letting go. And keep your awareness on your breathing. Feel the breath coming in through the nostrils and exhaling and leaving through the nostrils. Take another minute to completely release. Good. And 2 more deep breaths to finish. Great. And now you can take the left leg in, hug that left knee in high, and then once again, take the foot onto the top, and you've got it just right onto the top edge of the bolster. And then pull take the right hand, take it just above the left knee, tip to your right. Keep your left arm pressing back and your shoulder blade under. Get a really good turn over there. That foot hooked nicely. Pulling up as much as you can. Draw your breath in deeply right down into the low belly. Steady breath. Great. Good. Go for 4 more breaths. Breathing in deeply to release the low back and hip as much as you can. Gazing to your left now. Keeping that left shoulder back. Keeping the breathing full. And then on your next in-breath, draw that knee back up. And now you can release that left leg down. Even out your hips, get the low back dropped evenly on each side, and let the arms rest to the side again. Let your body go. And then let your head roll gently side to side. And then you can center and relax the head. Great. Now we'll take the hands just behind the head, and you're going to interlace the fingers. Now just press the elbows back and then press the shoulder blades down and under you, and then bend over, side bend to the left side. Your right elbow is pressing back, and you paste both shoulder blades back. So you've got a really good opening on the right ribs. And it's like you're opening up an accordion on that right side as the elbow presses back. Your gaze, of course, will be straight to the ceiling and a little bit of a lift to the chin. And then you can come on all the way back. We're going to do this 2 times. Come on over to your right. Press that left elbow back. Open out through that left rib cage as both shoulder blades press back and your breathing is full. Opening that side. Stay with your breathing. Good. And then come on back to your left. Press both elbows back. Shoulder blades under as much as you can. Get them under. Breathing in and out through the nose. And again, both hips are dropped. Keeping your breathing full. Two more breaths. Great. And then you can breathe into the middle. Come on over to the right. Press that left elbow back. Keep the shoulder blades under. The chest is open. Breathing fully. Breath. In through the nose, out through the nose. It's also really helpful to pull the lower abdominals down as you exhale. So you can pin your left hip down more, especially the left waist. And one more full breath here. And then you can breathe in. Come on back to your center. The hands still behind the head. Take an in-breath and then tuck the chin. And looking down, keep the chin lifting really high as you breathe steadily. Tuck it in strongly. And again, you're really mushing in and you're making like a triple chin. And you make a really long neck at the back. And then you keep the chin tucked and very slowly lower the upper back. The space in between the shoulder blades, and then lower down, the back of the neck comes down, and then slowly let the head down. And then let the arms rest to the side. Completely release. Take a few minutes now to breathe and to let go. And then I shall read you some poetry. I'm going to read tonight from Divine Beauty from John O'Donoghue, a wonderful Celtic priest turned writer, basically. And he's most famous for Anam Cara. That's his kind of his first big release. And I'm going to read from the entry of Beauty Evokes Elegance and Dignity. Starting with a quote, "Radiance belongs to being considered precisely as beautiful. It is, in being, that which catches the eye or the ear or the mind and makes us want to perceive it again." Etienne Gilson. The medieval mind recognized that while we can participate in beauty, we can never possess it. If we attempt to own beauty, we corrupt it. When soiled or damaged, beauty can turn negative and destructive. It is ultimately a sacred manifestation and should not be trespassed on by our lower hungers. In the presence of beauty, we are called to be gracious and worthy. Beauty makes presence shine. It brings out elegance and dignity and has a confidence and effortlessness that is not labored or forced. This fluency and ease of presence is ultimately rooted below the surface in our surer depths. In a sense, the question of beauty is about a way of looking at things. It is everywhere, and everything has beauty. It is merely a matter of discovering it. The most profound statement that can be made about something is the statement that it is. Beauty is. The word is the most magical word. It is a short, inconsequential little word and does not even sound special. Yet the word is the greatest hymn to the there-ness of things. We are so thoroughly entangled in the web of the world that we are blind to the unfolding world being there before us. Our sleep of unknowing is often disturbed by suffering. Abruptly, we awaken to the devastating realization that the givenness of things is utterly tenuous. The isness of things is miraculous, that there is something rather than nothing. Divine Beauty. Now for our next trick, we shall, let's come from that position right to taking the soles of the feet together again, and let the arms rest out to the side like a T. And then I welcome you to feel how this feels. And if this is a great pose to stay in and breathe, please do. Otherwise, we're going to come into opening in through the neck and shoulders. And as I show you two versions that you're familiar with, you would keep the same position with your feet to have the fullest stretch. And that is to have the soles of the feet together, the knees splayed out. You're opening through the rib cage and coming back with the palms turned up to the ceiling and the arms out to the side. And then if you wish to deepen the front shoulder stretch, you would take the arms up like a V. Now, if that's really easy, This is one of my favorite poses. And it's like doing a yoga pose, but having it done to you, just like Thai massage. And that is to come with the soles of the feet together again. That's your strongest version. You may wish to have the feet on the floor, and then that would give you just a little less of a pull on your low back. And you take the head back, and the shoulder blades are right at the top of the bolster as the arms come over. Now, again, the stronger version is to have the soles of the feet together and let the knees splay out as you open. And as you breathe in and out, you feel the chest open. You feel the body expand. And stay with a full breath. And if your arms are over the bolster, notice if you want to bring the arms up another couple of inches, palms still turned up. And then stay in your best position. If also you need to draw the knees to the ceiling because it's a bit too much for the inner thighs or the knees, please do. And or you can take your legs straight out in front to draw the tailbone down. And your tailbone is heavy, your upper body totally open. Good, and your shoulder blades are back. Good, now just continue to release into the floor. And tonight I'll read also from Billy Collins. And I was listening to actually another wonderful TED Talk. Billy Collins' TED Talk is so fun. He's just the most joyous poet. He deals with just the basic daily stuff. And I was listening to another TED Talk today about mentoring, and she was talking about how mentoring is like when you are on your bike and you draft somebody, you're breaking the wind for them. And I thought that was a wonderful analogy. Tonight I'll read his poem, Lakeside. As optical illusions go, it was one of the more spectacular. A cluster of bright stars appearing to move across the night sky as if on a secret mission, while of course it was the low clouds that were doing the moving, scattered over my head by a wind from the east. And as hard as I looked, I could not get the stars to budge again. It was like the curious figure of the duck rabbit. Why, even paradoxical Wittgenstein could not find his way back to the rabbit once he had beheld the bill of the duck. But which was which? Were the stars the rabbit and the blown clouds the duck, or the other way around? You're being ridiculous, I said to myself on the walk back to the house. But then the correct answer struck me, not like a bolt of lightning, but more like a heavy bolt of cloth. Lakeside. And this poem is entitled Memorizing the Sun Rising by John Donne. Every reader loves the way he tells off the sun, shouting busy old fool into the English skies, even though they were likely cloudy on that 17th century morning. And it's a pleasure to spend this sunny day pacing the carpet and repeating the words, feeling the syllables lock into rows until I can stand and declare, the book held closed by my side, that hours, days, and months are but the rags of time. But after a few steps into stanza number 2, wherein the sun is blinded by his mistress's eyes, I can feel the first one begin to fade, like the puffs of sky-written letters on a windy day. And by the time I have taken in the third, the second is likewise gone, a blown-out candle now, a wavering line of acrid smoke. So it's not until I leave the house and walk 3 times around this hidden lake that the poem begins to show any interest in walking by my side. Then, after my circling, better than the courteous dominion of her being all states and him all princes, better than love's power to shrink the wide world to the size of a bedchamber, and better even than the compression of all that into the rooms of these 3 stanzas, is how, after hours stepping up and down the poem, testing the plank of every line, it goes with me now, contracted into a little spot within. Oh, that was lovely. Again, Billy Collins, and that poem was Memorizing the Sun Rising by John Donne. Now, I welcome you to go into the easier version if you're in the full version, and that being to take the bolster like a hot dog, and then bring your tailbone right up to the edge. And if you've done that, and if you're under 5'5", I would say, you could take your, yeah, it'd be 5'5". If you could take your body to the top, this is the next version. And the arms are coming out, and you've got just an opening, a gentle opening through the chest. Now, there is also one more version, and this is for people that have amazing knees. And you could also modify it, but the reason I'm showing it is because it's great for cycling. So I know we have the cyclists here tonight, and that is to take the top of the foot under and to press the knee away. And then there is the option that potentially you might be able to put the foot under more, and that's a biggie. And then if you could, you might be able to bring it down. And then you have that knee coming all the way down, and you've got that nice opening right in through the thigh and here. And then the top arm can come over, so you get that opening right through the rib cage. The opposite knee is bent. So here's the great way to stretch the hip flexors, also lower core. And then you come right into a little giggle, little and you really want to pull your core and do it again, little and just keep the shoulders under too. So you might need to wriggle them under a little bit more. Your chest is open. You stay with your breathing. I have the opposite left arm just out to the side. So you're either in this version, let me show you the other version, just in case you don't want to stretch the thigh. And that is to come up so that the base of the neck is just over the edge. And then you have, again, a passive stretch, but more of an opening in through the throat. So remembering this is stimulating for the throat area and for the respiratory muscles and the area going right down into the top lungs. They get stretched open. So this is a really good stretch to do, even throughout the day. If you can look up, just at different times, look up. You'll often feel cracks in the neck because your body will need it. And then for those that are doing the thigh under, stay with that. Stay with the constant press of the knee away. And then bend the right elbow. So you're just going to draw the elbow down to the side. It's a little bit more through the front shoulder now. And the opposite leg down, on the foot, and you're pressing that knee down. See if you can really get the foot up high as you press the knee down and you stay with the breathing. Great. And then you can just take that arm back down, relax the arm, and then gently breathing in and then draw that foot all the way back up. Now the foot is flat on the floor. And for those that are doing the legs, take the opposite foot under, press that knee away, take the arm up. So showing you on the side, you've got your lift, the arm is up and the opposite arm is out to the side. And opening right through the rib cage. Sending that knee away. Stay with your breath. Steady breath. Now, if you are doing the other one, with the head, you want to take the hands behind the head now. And if you're there, and you're going to interlace and tuck the chin and press the tops of the feet down and bottoms of the feet down, sorry. You're going to just keep the chin tucked as you're looking down. And you're breathing in and out through the nose. And then once more, take the head back for one last stretch, the arms out to the side. And look up with the eyes. And take the tip of the tongue at the top of the front teeth, back of the top of the tip of the tongue right behind the top front teeth. I can't think about it when I'm upside down. And then you're just breathing there. And then once again, you can come back up if you're that person. And you're going to take the tailbone right to the bottom edge of the bolster. Arms resting. Good. And those that have the opposite foot under, you're going to bend the arm. I'll show you on this side, out in your right angle, out to the side. And opening through that thigh, pressing the knee down and away. Get your breathing full and fluid. Steady breaths. Good. And 2 more full breaths to finish this side. Excellent. And then you can take that arm down. Now let the knee come all the way back up. And just pressing the foot there. Arms are out to the side. And now you can just interlace the fingers. Pull the shoulder blades up off the floor. Off the bolster. And take a deep breath. And then take the arms over to the left. Bend that right elbow. And draw the elbow way, way, way down. You're going to be squeezing in through the front of the left shoulder chest area. And squeezing right in through the lymph area. And then one more full breath as you get that squeeze in there. Now breath in, come on all the way up. Exhale over to the left. Draw that right shoulder blade across. Squeeze right in through the front of the armpit. Breathing steadily. And then you can come on back up. Now let the arms drop. And let yourself go. Take one more full breath here. And then you can gently roll off your bolster or to your side. And then you can take the bolster once again long ways, or sort of sideways, so that you're going to lie back and take your feet right over the bolster. Let your whole upper body come back. Shoulder blades wriggle under. Bend the knees and take the feet just apart and right to the top of the bolster. Now do a little sway of the knees from side to side. Heavy through each side of your hip. Take a couple more swings at it. And then draw all the way back to the middle. Bring your legs out over the bolster. And you're coming now right into Shavasana. Just letting your upper body go. Now we'll go right into Yoga Nidra, guided relaxation. So be aware of the weight of the heels on your mat and feel your feet rolled out in relaxation. And feel your front body open, your shoulders back. Feel the weight of the calves on the bolster. Heavy legs, the knees soft and supported. And feel how light the toes are, as if they're floating. And then be aware of space in toes, in between, little crevices, little spaces. And then be aware of the whole surface area of the foot, along the bottom. And see if you can feel a heat there. And then feel that heavy heat go down right into the heels as they contact the earth. Now, traveling back up to the knees, feel the backs of the knees warm and supported. And then from the backs of the thighs, travel up to the weight of the buttocks on the floor, heavy, dropping onto each side. And then be aware of the length of your low back, the tailbone supported, your low back long, long and released. And feel space from your tailbone up the back to the place of the shoulder blades. And feel both of them dropped and back with the chest opening. The arms are free and heavy. The backs of the arms sinking back. And feel yourself let go. Be aware of the natural curl of the fingers as the palms are turned up to the ceiling. And feel the entire body as if it is warm sand that has just been poured off and out of you, as if your whole body was sand. And now your physical body is empty. And it's as if you're like a sack with all of the life force drained out so that your physical body can rest, soften, and return to the earth, the true essence of the meaning of corpse pose, the return of the physical to the earth, to regenerate, to recycle, so that the prana, the life force, can return back to the body, fresh and new, as if arisen. So do let the physical body die and go down into the earth. Soften. Good. Now you can just do a little bit of maneuvering of moving your body on the floor, kind of like scratching your back against the mat. Just do a little shift from side to side. And then take the hands behind the head and press the elbows back, taking a deep breath. Then you can tuck the chin again, give a nice neck stretch. You're looking down at the chest as you tuck your chin. And then you can slowly lower. Let your arms just rest to the side. And then you can just roll up onto your elbows. So you're going to do a curl up and tuck your chin. Now, I just wanted to demonstrate a really good pose. And it can be done with your knees like this, or it could be done, let me just see how that would work. Because I wanted to show you a different version of the strong pose I like to do. Yeah, that would work. So your elbows come under. I was just thinking of it while you're in this position. And you take your head back. Now all the weight is in the elbows, and you can see the rib cage and the chest lift. And then you come right onto the back of the head. Now your heels are pressing, and you're not quite on the top. So it's not a headstand. It's more the back corner of your head, if your head was a block. And then you press into the elbows to lift. So if you were watching that, all the weight is in your elbows to lower as well as to rise. And that helps to open the shoulders as well, very actively. And of course, the opening in through the throat, which, as you may have noticed, I keep emphasizing at this time. Very good for virus, very good for keeping the respiratory system cleared out. And you're using just natural virus little Pac-Man to clear up in that area by stimulating the throat. And then you can take your knees and just take your feet right to the top of the bolster. Gently roll over to your right side. Take your hand under for a moment and let your body go as you lie in your fetal position to your side. Take in 2 deep breaths. And 1 more deep breath. And now you can very gently draw right up to seated position. And we'll take a moment just to let your body settle, just letting your whole body drop right down in through your sits bones. And we'll bring our hands together in Namaste. Namaste. Have a wonderful night, everybody. And
thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome.
Okay.
Feel free to come to the 6:30 in the morning